Hi, I'm Virginia Messina, Senior Vice President at the World Travel and Tourism Council.
Thank you very much for your time this morning speaking to Break and Travel News at the PATA Summit. How is it to be here in the Middle East for the first time?
Well, it's wonderful to be back in this region, which is showing so much growth. And also so much development and infrastructure. So it's really impressive that the transition they're making into really becoming a powerful destination. And of course, it's great to see the Asia Pacific region also represented at the Middle East.
The Asia Pacific region is a very strong one. Maybe you can share some of the insights into the rebound that has been shown recently.
Absolutely. As we know, Asia Pacific has been growing significantly, and as you will say, it's a critical region for a sector globally. However, it was also one of the regions to come back later. So as we see, some of the key markets like Japan and China are making small steps in terms of reopening their borders and welcoming international travelers. However, what our forecasts are saying is that over the next decade, the Asia Pacific region will be the fastest growing. So we did a forecast actually this year when we were at our global summit in Manila, because we wanted to understand what will happen to our sector over the next 10 years. And the reality is that once again, our sector will continue to grow and outpace the growth of the global economy. However, out of the growth we see globally, Asia Pacific is meant to be growing at an 8.5% annual average growth, which is an impressive figure. So obviously it is important that we focus on how we can maximize this growth and make sure it's inclusive and sustainable.
That's very interesting. And here at the summit, the theme is also surrounding sustainability and how to recover in a sustainable way. Do you have any particular initiatives that you are doing surrounding this theme?
Absolutely. And as it's been said in this conference, it is critical that we embed sustainability into everything we do. And the reality is that as we emerge from the pandemic, sustainability has taken a different sense. But it's not just about talking about it. It is about what actions do we need to put in place, because these targets and these global goals we all talk about to tackle climate change and some of the other crises that we're living are not just an option, are a must. And it's not just our sector that is at risk, it's the whole planet and humanity. So we really need to take things seriously. So last year WTTC launched a net zero roadmap, which effectively provides a framework for the whole sector to see where we need to set our targets to really achieve decarbonization by 2050, which is clearly a challenge for some of our industries, but the truth is it can be done, and that's the good news. But we also know some of these things can sound slightly overwhelming when we're talking about smaller companies. So in Manila, we also unveiled a new initiative called the Hotel Sustainability Basics, and that is about the first steps. How does a hotel get in the sustainability ladder? Where do I start, and how do I make sure that some of these measures are actually being effective and making progress towards sustainability? So I really recommend all hotels that are watching us to look at this, to check this out. We're going to be launching the second phase, which will be a verification system in the next few months. And then the last thing I want to say is we mustn't forget the people aspect. When we talk about sustainability, it's not just about the environment, it's also about the people we employ. So we know 62 million jobs were lost during the pandemic. They're coming back very slowly, and we have a huge problem in the industry of labor shortage. So the jobs are there, but the people to fill these jobs are not there. And we really need to work collectively with governments to provide all the alternatives and all the benefits that employees need to fill these jobs.
Fantastic. Well, lastly, I just also want to ask you about your global summit. I think it's the 22nd one coming up in Saudi Arabia in a month's time.
Exactly. And we're very, very excited to be in Riyadh for the first time. Obviously, a country that has put tourism at the center of its Vision 2030. Unprecedented investment and development is happening in the country, and WTTC is obviously pleased to be supporting this. So in Riyadh, we're going to be really looking at the future, and we're going to be looking at the current challenges that we're leaving, because we can't only talk about all the positives. The reality is we're living challenging times, and our sector needs to continue to adapt and innovate. So we will be looking at the challenges that the economy poses, but also how do we address sustainability from the both ends, also the community aspect, and ultimately looking at all the new technologies and how that will affect our sector.
Very exciting. Well, we wish you all the best. Thank you for your time and enjoy the rest of the summer.
My pleasure. Look forward to seeing you in Riyadh.